Hello and welcome to Who Are You? It's a Babylon 5 watchcast by a couple of former strangers who are now friends and are getting to know each other over one of their favorite shows from their childhood, Babylon 5. I'm Laura.
And I'm Xhafer.
And Jafar. Today, I got a need. I have a need to do a little bit of make believe.
Yeah? Are you thinking it's time for plot poker?
Hello. So I deal myself in.
I think it's time for plot poker.
Hello. So I deal myself in.
Now, did the drop play twice there, or just when I said it, or just when it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I hope it played twice. Anyways, yeah, so we're doing plot poker today. We haven't done this in a couple of months, so I'm going to go over the basic premise here. We're going to open some packs of the Babylon 5 collectible card game. I've got like 6 packs in front of me because I think I was stingy the last time we opened, so I've got a handful of extra packs now. And we're going to go through, open up these packs, and sort cards into 4 piles: characters, problems, solutions, and twists. We're then going to pull one card out randomly from each pile, and then these will form the A plot and B plot, respectively, of a fake episode of Babylon 5, which we will then rate on our patented scale of Babylon's 1 to 5.
Yeah.
You ready to open some packs?
I'm ready. I'm going to give you some of that good crinkle action.
Hell yeah.
That stuff that Aaron never has to edit out.
I was editing last time on this morning, and Vic, our friend from Dominion Media and Television, is really big on Foley work.
Oh, that's commitment.
Yeah,
That's
and
commitment.
it's like Ben and I are like, we're gonna put sound effects in post. You don't need to crinkle a paper like you're ripping open an envelope to look at a web page. Like, we can do these things. All right. Well, I pulled a Jakar in my first pack, which is
That's
just,
awesome. Have we had a Jakar yet? We
I
haven't
don't think
had a
so.
Jakar in plot poker yet, for sure.
Yeah. So we're opening packs of Severed Dreams right now, which is our 4th box of cards. And I think, Prime Minister Rifa
Oh,
and Major Krantz, from Babylon
wow.
4.
So many gets. I have a good get. I have Drawl the Caretaker in this first pack.
Ooh,
I also have They're Killing Us, the card. Oof,
yikes.
indeed.
Oh, shit, Captain Sheridan.
Ooh.
I'm going to put Sheridan in the solutions problem and pretend it's a nuke.
I've got Lady Timov.
I got
Have we
Veer.
seen her yet? Ooh, Veer. We like him.
This is banger after banger in these packs.
I got a good one that I'm going to put in my solutions.
I hope it's Tactical Nuke.
I wish it was Tactical Nuke, but it's also kind of funny. That may come back to bite me because it's funny, but I don't know that it's actually good air. So,
I got Steel Babylon 4.
all right.
Just outright, just taking the station. Ooh, not the one. Apply 2 influence for each Zathras you control. I hope that's good.
And you can control a lot of Zathrai, I think.
I've got a Zathrai in every pile of cards sitting in front of me right now.
I think that is the perfect way to deploy Zathras.
That was a fun little run.
Oh, I got Jakar too. Look at that.
Cool. Jakars for everyone.
Right. Okay, so guess what, Jafar?
What, Laura?
It's a Jakar episode.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So, it's a Jakar episode, and unfortunately, Jakar has to deal with a psychopath.
Oh no.
So, I think it's a human psychopath. I think we've got another of our classic xenophobic humans
Ugh.
has come to Babylon 5 full of 250,000 humans and aliens
Yeah.
for some reason.
Yeah, and like way too many telepaths.
Yeah. And he's just itching for a fight with the Narn. And I think it's the, just easy casual racism of like, the Centauri look a little bit like us at least.
Mhm.
And they don't like the Narn. And they're telling me all these things about the Narn being backwards and barbarians and stuff. And they wear these fancy coats, the Centauri, and they're just, you trust them. And so he's working with maybe some other like Centauri thugs who are wanting to up and be up and coming. And they have planted a bomb
Oh my God, JC, a bomb!
Oh, no.
and forced an evacuation of the station. So this episode is going to involve a lot of extras as we evacuate, and our main characters have to spend the episode finding and defusing the bomb. Probably Mr. Garibaldi's problem, and
Mhm.
then Sheridan's for some reason. They're going to do this together. And after the station's evacuated, they get that taken care of. Get Mr. Psychopath handled. Well, bad news. Now there's a disinformation campaign by the Psychopath's allies. And we end the A plot with a news report full of disinformation playing in the Zocalo.
Ooh, not disinformation.
Yeah, the worst.
Right. God, who would let that on the news? Who would knowingly let disinformation on the news? That's so
Yeah.
terrible. People go to the news for information, not for disinformation. How could
Yeah,
that happen in a
it's just
society
horrible.
as advanced as Babylon 5, let alone a society less advanced, technologically speaking?
Sure.
All right, so our B plot, while this psychopath is coming on board, we're revisited by Major Krantz.
Oh, what's he up to?
Well, he was overseeing the construction of Babylon 4 and was evacuated in season 3 when our heroes stole Babylon 4. And he has
Yeah.
come back to the station because his life is a fucking mess.
Yeah, he's not doing great, huh?
He lost, what was it, 6 or 7 years of his life or something, just like plucked out of time.
Yeah. And
So
it
his,
was PTSD too, like pretty
yeah.
wild times.
Yeah, but he's been obsessed with this image he saw as Babylon 4 was being pulled back into time of
Mhm.
the crab ships carrying that reactor core to try and blow up the station. And
Mm.
so he's feeling the lure of shadow.
Oh,
He
scary.
wants to know more. And at this point, the shadow war has kicked off in full swing.
Okay. I wonder if they got a hold of our psychopath too.
They might have. And so Krantz is having episodes and getting a little bit out of his mind, and the PTSD is real bad until Captain John Sheridan sits down with him. Our solution card being Sheridan. I know I said I was going to use it for a nuke, but this is not really a situation to.
No, this is a stepdaddy Sheridan situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And so he sits Krantz down and it's just like, I know you've resigned your Earth Force commission because you couldn't, it was too much. And I understand that. This is what you saw. This is what's going on. This is actually what happened. And
Mm.
tells him everything that's appropriate to tell him. Babylon 4 went back in time to fight the shadows the first time. They were trying to stop it now, and we're actively fighting them.
Okay.
And so Krantz is like, hey, this is a terrible thing, and it might be a good use for my skills, and maybe I can do something here to help.
Yeah, yeah.
When I can't at home, I need a new life. And so he signs up and becomes a ranger.
Yeah, okay. Maybe our A and B plots intertwine a little here, and he helps with the evacuation. He like helps Ivanova while
Oh,
Sheridan and
Marcus.
Garibaldi are off.
You
Oh
got to have him
yeah,
and
okay.
Marcus do, yeah, that could be
Yeah.
fun.
Okay, okay.
And then at before the end of the episode here, there is a council meeting about trying to get the League of Non-Aligned Worlds and the defense stuff and all the things that they were trying to make happen for a number of episodes there. This is tied in with that.
Mhm.
And gosh, Bad Kosh point oh shows up and casts the only vote against.
Ooh, rude.
Yeah.
That's very Kosh.0 though.
Yeah. All right. Well, how do we feel about this episode?
Well, I gotta say that the A plot seems like it's been done a few times.
It certainly has.
Yeah. But I do like that we bring back a one-off character from what, 2 episodes? One of season 2, one of season 3.
Yeah.
So I give this like a 3. This is an average episode of Babylon 5.
Yeah. This feels like an average episode of Babylon 5. It's nice to see Krantz back. I agree. I think that's probably the highlight of everything. Having Jakar fight the Night Watch people instead of the humans is nice. Maybe it's
Mhm.
in that time frame where he was in charge of station security.
Yeah, I think that's great.
There's that little bit of time where he was like getting all the Narn to pitch in, and that's how they helped.
Yeah, and
So
that'll make some humans real mad too, right? That the
Mhm.
Narn are like bossing us around.
So that could be the interesting deviation on the plot that makes this one a little bit different than the 5 other times this has happened in Babylon 5.
Sure, yeah.
But it still has happened a bunch. So I'm with you on this. I think a 3 out of 5 is solid.
Solid episode.
You know what else is a solid episode?
Do tell, Jafar.
Well, there's actually a lot of debate about this. A lot of people consider this one of the
Really?
worst episodes of Babylon 5.
Okay, well, we'll have to get to that, but first we got to do the episode.
Yeah, we've got season 5, episode 2, The Very Long Night of Londo Mollari. Now, I'm going to say some stuff now
Okay.
because
Say
I
some stuff now.
haven't done any research.
Okay.
I know of a unshot episode called The Very Long Night of Susan Ivanova that was originally planned for this time frame back before they knew that they lost her.
Oh. Interesting.
So when we're done with this, I'm going to see what I can find about that episode and we'll see. I don't think it compares much, but I've purposefully stayed away from finding out anything about it when I knew that this was coming up. So that way we could kind of talk about it and discover it together because that sounds more fun for better radio for me. So we'll do that at the end. But I do know that at the very least, the title got co-opted. Whether or not any of
Yeah.
the plot, I don't know if she was going to have a heart attack and go through her life. That doesn't really feel like a thing that would happen.
Doesn't feel like a thing, yeah.
And to be perfectly honest, the Hour of the Wolf was probably The Very Long Night of Susan Ivanova, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
I do know that title was floated around.
Well, I want to say something else before we start.
Go for it.
And I have a metaphor that I'm going to bring up eventually, and I would like you to roll with it.
Okay.
Be open to my metaphor.
Okay.
Okay. So tell me, where do we start?
Delenn gets woken up in the middle of the night to learn that Lennier is leaving.
Yeah. Awkward, right? She
Yeah.
gets a call from a very nervous Midbari back on Minbar, who is urgently trying to arrange a replacement for Lennier
Yeah.
that she did not know about. I do like this guy's style though. He in his like word vomit of suggestions, or you know, his word vomit of trying to handle this situation does suggest that maybe she needs 3 assistants,
Yeah.
one from each cast. I
As
thought
would
that
be
that was a
appropriate.
nice touch.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. Can you imagine the 3 assistants hanging out at the bar with Veer for that weekly check-in? I think that'd be great.
A better spinoff than Crusade. We move over after this to Londo, who's livid about some Bravari being impounded by Zack when he collapses to theme.
Classic Londo line in here.
Yeah.
Where if I held your head to my ear, I would hear the ocean.
Londo is taken to Med Lab while Delenn and Lennier talk. Lennier quotes Valen here. Bad
Mhm.
news improves over a good meal. I heard this in Sinclair's voice. This sounds so much like something he would say.
Yeah.
He's going to go join the Rangers. Lennier has been spurred on by the death of Marcus,
Mhm.
is what he outwardly says.
He also says something here about, I don't think I'm paraphrasing too much when I say this, about he wants to be more like what Delenn would want.
Yeah. No, that's I don't think that's paraphrased at all.
I don't think that's paraphrased. I think that's pretty direct. And so I guess we've entered the era of Incel Lennier.
Yeah.
Hooray.
God, that has to those letters are so those words have the same letters almost. I will come up with something. Give me another episode, listeners. I will come up
Just
with something.
workshop it.
Yeah.
It's coming back, so you got time, I think.
I do, unfortunately. Garibaldi finds Veer in the Zocalo to fill him in, and she says it's been a heart attack. We get about the Centauri vasculatory system here. I love this little world building we get about the two
Mhm.
hearts and how one is more part of the immune system and stuff.
Mhm.
The big heart you can repair, the little heart you can't and stuff. It's very interesting.
I love it when we hear about alien organs.
Yeah.
Give me more alien medicine.
Sheridan and Delenn are talking while visiting Londo's side, and they go over the gamut of feelings they and the audience likely have felt for Londo. I don't think it's a stretch to say that Londo is the second most likable genocider in fiction.
Second most.
Ender in Ender's Game.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, fuck Orson Scott Card. Just getting that out there.
True.
But yeah, and Londo, still a genocider.
Yeah, but he's been so dang likable. And that's when I think when we started this show, I said that I liked Londo.
Mhm.
And I kind of had forgotten all about the genocide or, swept it under the rug a little bit.
I think, especially you hadn't seen the show since you were young. I don't think something as terrible as genocide is easily comprehended by someone who doesn't have a fully formed brain.
Surely. Yeah.
So
Definitely.
don't be too hard on yourself there.
I found this hilarious that while we're talking about the range of emotions we feel about Londo, we are also visiting about Lennier's vibes.
Mhm.
Just standing here looking at our friend and very important person, the Emperor of the Centauri, in the hospital, talking about Delenn's slightly creepy friend, apparently, given bad vibes. We're
Yeah.
not ready to open up this marriage. Like,
Yeah.
it's best that he goes. Fun hospital chat.
How many Minbari ceremonies are there for getting rid of a best friend who has feelings for you that you don't reciprocate?
That's gotta be at least 2, right?
Hopefully it's just 2.
Well, by the end of the ceremony, maybe you don't feel that way about the person anymore and it's easier to leave.
One can hope. We move into Londo's dream sequence here. Tilted cameras, warm lighting, long takes. It's shot completely differently when we're in Londo's mind than the rest of the
Yeah.
show. And I really appreciate that.
He's stuck in the down below of the mind.
Ah, yeah.
He finds a fortune teller down here, and this is where my metaphor kicks in.
All right.
This fortune teller is Delenn's face behind a veil,
Yeah.
and it is his ghost of Christmas past.
Okay.
She
Delenn in her
specifically says it's his past in the cards.
yeah. Yeah, Delenn in her tarot phase from high school,
Mhm.
whose deck is leaking Robitussin.
Is that what Centauri blood looks like? It's just a nice thick, like corn syrupy colored. Yeah, that seems right.
Yeah.
That seems right.
Yeah. At the very least, Londo's blood is probably thick like fucking cough syrup. So
Yeah.
she tells him that he's dying. He says he knows. He's willing to die now to spite fate of his 20 years of premonitions of his death.
I I guess I get it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just really, really want to do what you don't want me to do.
Londo is presented a mystery here. Where is he? What word does he need? What else does he need besides the desire to continue living? And why is Jakar creeping?
And what is the sound under the floor? What is that beating sound? It's the hideous heart.
Yeah, someone clearly was reading Poe while putting this together.
The effect is creepy gross.
Yeah,
He like takes this grate off where the heart is clearly beating, and they did some fun practical effect there.
I always appreciates a good practical effect. Veer and Lennier commiserate after this. Oh, there's a Shirley Temple line in here.
Yeah.
Uh,
I love the little umbrella in his drink.
yeah. I like to
Very
think
cute.
that Lennier goes to Earth looking for Shirley Temple and ends up at the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Oh, yeah, that'd be cute. Can you just imagine Lennier trying to understand the Hollywood Walk of Fame?
I've heard some of these names before.
Hmm.
As Veer leaves the Zocalo, Londo enters.
Can't that angle nice and back?
Right? It's so good. But you know
Now
what's
we're
not
back in
good?
dreamland.
Still
What's
no
that?
gorilla bartenders, even in Londo's dreams.
I mean, that's where you can easily have them too. Come on,
Right?
Londo.
I'm still ride or die for those gorilla bartenders.
Actually, there's no booze in Londo's Dream Bar at all, is there?
No.
Yeah. But
We
you know who is there?
Sheridan. Ooh.
The ghost of Christmas present.
Oh, the metaphor. Which is interesting too, because Sheridan's outfit changed dramatically. They run through the
Mhm.
series and beyond.
Yeah. Weird.
Yeah,
There's a nice version too of I don't know how many Christmas carols you watch, Viewer or Jafar,
not
but
many.
I believe that's the Muppet Christmas Carol version that the ghost of Christmas present,
Mhm.
his beard it's red when, Scrooge wakes up with the ghost of Christmas present, and his beard and hair are bright red, and they turn gray and white throughout his time, and then when his time is over, the ghost of Christmas present is dying.
Yeah,
So I was like, "Oh, I love that Sheridan's outfits are changing and running through this just like
yeah.
that
The
version."
moment is fleeting, the present is fleet. Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
That's cool. They talk about being dead and dying, both practically and emotionally, which is a really
Yeah.
interesting conversation, but Sheridan's a good person to have that conversation with.
Truth.
But they talk about more than just physical death. It's the death of the heartbreak, the death of cutting someone out of your life, the death of nuking yourself, your dead wife in the enemy capital city. Just stuff everyone goes through.
Yeah, we've all been there, right?
Yeah. If I had $1 for every time I've dropped a nuke on a spaceship on a city while jumping into an endless pit, would
Be such a rich man.
retire. Londo remarks he knows Sheridan will be there when he dies in his vision, in addition to Jakar. So he's a little bit more aware of the surrounding there. He did not know that when he met Sheridan. That's something
I
that he's become aware of over time.
Yeah, I think he would have mentioned that right away because he doesn't like to leave leave these stones unturned.
Yeah. Sheridan tells Londo he must confront Dream Jakar to live.
Yeah, that's gonna be hard.
Yeah, he doesn't like encountering normal Jakar most of the time, let alone Dream Jakar. He knows all his secrets.
And it was as Launder refuses, white robed Sheridan, presumably dead, yes, says
Makes
he will
sense.
see him soon.
Yeah. Dun dun dun. Franklin and Veer will remain by Londo's side through the night, and in Londo's mind, it's Veer with him now.
Yeah.
Would that be the ghost of Londo's future there?
Yeah, I think so. That's where I'm going with it
Okay.
because at least in the story, it's all about Scrooge dying
Mhm.
and the things that happen after he dies. So Veer is basically telling him, "This is it, man. We got to do this." I think it's really sweet the way they juxtapose this with, Dream Veer as being rather stern with Londo. And back in Med Lab, we cut back and forth and see Veer pleading with Londo not to die.
Yeah. Yeah. Londo's heart can no longer bear the weight of his conscience.
We don't know why. She has lost the will to live.
Yeah, Jakar is weighing too heavy on Londo's mind,
Yeah.
and he's got to do something about it.
Veer has the best line of the episode here, for my
Mhm.
money. Prophecy is just a guess that comes true, and when it doesn't, it's metaphor.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. You can always believe yourself right when you want to feel right.
Yeah, I can think of some the books of the Christian Bible that people would interpret either way. Yeah. We get Dream Jakar
Mhm.
speaking to Londo, as I think Londo's barely holding on here,
Yeah.
right? And I would say if Dream Jakar is anybody from the metaphor, maybe he's Jacob Marley. Maybe we've kind of done this in reverse.
Mm.
He's seen all the ghosts, and now Marley is coming back to sum it up for him because he's not very smart.
Yeah, that works.
He's his Jacob Marley.
Londo is just ready to fucking die rather than confront Jakar here. I like to call this big Sunday night vibes, thinking about the
Yeah.
work week. Yeah.
He's got the Sunday scaries.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jakar rolls into MedLab, like real Jakar rolls into real MedLab as Mollari goes into the final stages, and we get a bunch of cuts here, right?
Yeah.
We get, Veer upset, Franklin upset, a nurse upset, Jakar stone face not giving a single fuck, middle fingers in the air.
Just come to watch this guy die.
Right?
Thanks.
Just came to collect what I've been waiting for here.
Mm-hmm.
Tried it once in an elevator. Didn't go so well for me, but this time.
I was supposed to be around when he dies, so by God,
Mhm.
I'm just gonna hang around.
Londo and Jakar talk to each other over in the Centauri throne room. He sees
Yeah.
Rifa and asks, "What madness is this?" Hey, got one more use of that drop.
Yeah, they're hanging out at the throne that Londo doesn't deserve.
Yeah.
He taunts him back and forth, and we get a shot where Londo is like clinging to those gilded bars on that gate that
Mhm.
we've seen in and out of the Centauri throne room. I thought that was an interesting shot.
There's a lot of really good shots in this episode.
Yeah,
I
there
r
really
I
are.
really like the cinematography in this one.
Yeah. But then we cut over to Cartagia's torture chamber
Yeah.
and relive that scene with two Londos watching this time.
Yeah. Jakar has to remind Londo that he's complicit in the death of millions, maybe billions, war crimes, torture, all of it. And Londo is complicit in these things through inaction.
Yeah.
The situation is morphed as Londo finds himself ready for the whip at the whims of Emperor Jakarja, counting the 40 lashes until his death. I'm assuming that's going to get edited, but listener, know that that took me like 4 tries. It's not fun to
Well, we
listen to
got
me try it and take it 4 times. It is funny to know that I struggle.
but you nailed it. You really
Yeah.
did.
Stopping on lash 29, Londo cries as Jakar sees through Londo. He's not sorry for what he did, only sorry that he got caught.
Yeah.
Londo says that he's never apologized, but he finally does. He stabilizes, wakes up, looks over at Jakar, and earnestly apologizes. Well,
Yeah.
I assume earnestly, like, it feels earnest.
Yeah,
it's not really
I've
something you
taken it
can
that way.
apologize for, you fucking monster. But
Yeah.
you can
You can still
try.
attempt an earnest apology.
Yeah.
Just, does it work? And we don't know because Jakar leaves without saying a word.
Mm-hmm.
He seems a little disappointed, though, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Or am I just reading that with my own biases?
I think he knows it's as good as he's gonna get, and that's probably disappointing.
Yeah.
Next scene, Londo mocks Jello while talking with Veer in recovery. They discuss folklore about Centauri spirits finding their bodies unworthy.
Yeah. They need to separate if the body is not
Yeah.
good enough. Yeah.
You'd have to be a
And
real
Veer says,
monster.
Vera tries to reassure Londo by saying that it would only be somebody that was really bad, and then realizes he's stuck his foot way in it.
Yep.
But he also says that he's heard this story ever since he was a child, and Londo hadn't. Is this a case for nurture over nature?
It's probably some 1% bullshit. I mean, Londo's, position in court is granted through birth.
Yeah,
So, yeah, it's probably just some noble bullshit. Not something
yeah,
his family would concern themselves with.
right. That they don't take to the stories of the lower culture or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. But boy, sure didn't help him, did it, to be unplugged from the common culture?
Nope.
Interesting.
Typically doesn't help leaders to not know what their people are living.
Yeah. Learning, saying, doing. Yeah.
Yeah. After this, Lennier leaves with the Rangers at Space TSA. Delenn sees him off in tears.
And
Credits.
Sheridan comes and leads her away.
Yep.
Yeah. That was a little creepy and weird at the end. He
Yeah.
says more things that make me uncomfortable, but I didn't write them down.
Yeah, yep, just not giving it a lot of time.
Yeah.
Can't.
Well, there's so much more that deserves more time in this episode, I believe, at least. But hey, Jafar, tell me how you felt about this episode. How would you rate it on our scale of Babylon's 1 to 5?
If I could remove all the incel linear shit, this would be a 4 out of 5 for me in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
It might still be. And it might be a 4 out of 5, and if I removed the linear shit, it might be like a 4.5 out of 5. I really like this episode. It's
Me too.
it's good to remember that Londo is a terrible fucking person.
Yeah, especially when we've been so buddy lately.
Yeah. Don't let him off easy. He did terrible shit, and he has a lifetime to make up for it, and he won't be able to. It's that bad. And so it's good to remember those things. I really like I said it like it doesn't have to really like the cinematography in this episode. The really
Uh-huh.
long shots, the tilted camera, the lighting changes, especially when they do that shot where it goes from normal to the dream sequence stuff in one
Yeah.
go, in one take. It's so good. It's so tough.
Mhm. Yeah, for me, I'm going to just throw it at the haters and say this is a 5 out of 5 for me.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, Incel Linear, it sucks and is weird, but there's so little of it that,
it's true.
I can kind of just sweep it under the rug for now. You know,
You shouldn't have to.
most, I shouldn't have to. But I love the cinematography. I love
Yeah.
everything you described with how we transition from scene to scene. I like the story of us attempting to confront what Londo has done. I do think that its placement is weird, especially when we had those last two episodes of season 4
Mhm.
where all of a sudden Londo and Jakar were kind of joking together,
Mhm.
like just like none of this had ever happened, or like you didn't watch my eye get plucked out and watch me almost get whipped to death, and you didn't murder millions of people on my home world. That was very tonally weird. It seemed like this episode really was probably meant to come before those, but we know the limitations of season 4, but I really liked it. I liked us reminding ourselves that he's done something irredeemable, and we see him struggling with the weight of that and all these things that he's been burying under probably alcohol and ignoring it. And he comes out okay, but it's never going to be okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, with all that said, I've
Mhm.
pulled up a little synopsis of The Very Long Night of Susan Ivanova.
Tell me, what was that supposed to be like?
So this would have been a season 2 episode that would have centered around the outbreak of the Narn Centauri War. The B plot would have featured the founder of Babylon 5 visiting the station.
Okay, who's that?
Doesn't
I
say.
wonder.
There was also a C plot that would have seen Ivanova being ordered by Sheridan to take some time off. The shadow attack that led to the declaration of war was moved to the Coming of Shadows, while the story of Babylon 5's founder was at one point moved to season 3's premiere, Matters of Honor, but was ultimately dropped. The episode title would later be partially recycled for the season 5 episode, The Very Long Night of Londo Mollari. So nothing in common, and stuff we either
Yeah.
got elsewhere or never got.
Yeah. So I wonder if the ordering time off would have been similar to her, what was it, Hour of the Wolf? Or
Are you thinking of the one where she finally sat Shiva for her dad in season 1?
yeah, I don't know.
There are some real interesting unfilmed episodes on this list here.
Oh man.
There was one, Demon in the Dust or Demon on the Run, a proposed sequel to the 1964 episode Demon with a Glass Hand from the Outer Limits, written by Harlan
Ooh.
Ellison.
Oh, of course.
This project had repeatedly been stated by JMS to be on the cards at various points in the series and would have again been written by Ellison. The episode would have featured Robert Culp reprising his role as Trent, an android from the distant future, tired after being on the run for over 300 years, arriving on the station.
That could have been fun. It's like a little King Arthur sort of callback.
See, there's one that would have been about a hollow brothel on the station opening up.
Wow. Okay.
While the B plot would have featured Delen's removal from the Grey Council, the main plot was partially recycled for the River of Souls TV movie. Oh, we got that to look forward to. I don't remember much of River of Souls besides, I think Martin Sheen's in it.
I don't remember anything about it, but I just made a face, you guys. Listeners, I wish you could see. Yeah, Hollow Brothel. That reminds me of that one episode of Deep Space Nine where Quark is writing hollow programs with Kira's face on them. Could have had that in Babylon 5. Can you imagine Susan Ivanova putting her boot up somebody's ass?
If only. All right. Well, that's fun.
What do we have next time that is a real episode
We've got
of Babylon 5?
Season 5, Episode 3, The Paragon of Animals.
Huh.
Military crises threaten the ongoing formation of the Interstellar Alliance, but Sheridan asserts its power. Sheridan wants to use the telepaths for information gathering.
Uh-oh. That seems bad.
Yeah, not great.
Uh-oh.
Sounds like we've got a real winner next week.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, until next week.
Until next week, we have to say thank you, of course, to Jeremy Siegel. Thank you, Jeremy, for our lovely theme music. We appreciate it so much and are probably going to have to ask you about some new stuff within the next 6 months or so. So be on the lookout for that.
Put on your radar.
Yeah, I'm planting this seed now. If you happen to actually listen to this episode, we'll need something for Battlestar Galactica in like a year from now. I think actually exactly a year from now. Just about, yeah.
Neat. And you can find more of Jeremy's work at jeremysiegel42.bandcamp.com or on Spotify and Apple Music, other places that you get music as Nuclear Jaguar.
Yep. Thank you, Angry Duck Time Machine, for our podcast art. We'll also be going your way again soon.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta start figuring that stuff out for a year from now.
You're gonna have to input that because I don't know what we should be.
Oh, that's fair. I mean, I guess you had the original stuff commissioned before we really knew each other anyways, so it just worked out that Londo and Jakar kind of sound like our names, so
Yeah.
it works.
You just think on that one.
Okay,
You pick
I'll
us
noodle.
new characters.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Ben just rewatched it, actually. Ben and Glow just rewatched it, so
Oh, well, they can input.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'll ask them. Or rather, I'll let them listen to this and then remind me that I was supposed to ask them.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Aaron, for editing our podcast. We appreciate all the work you do, especially this time with all of those takes I had. I'm sorry.
And all the crinkles that I made. My apologies. And thank you to you, the listener, for being here with us today. We really appreciate having you. We appreciate our 2 YouTube subscribers as of today. It's probably both been.
One might be last time on. I forget if I did that or not.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and hey, shout out last time on. We're doing a Stargate SG1 right now with Vic from Dominion Media and Television. It's been a lot of fun. You should go give that a listen if you don't already.
Yeah. Give that a listen. You can also join us on Discord if you would like.
Yeah.
You can email us at whoareyoub5@gmail.com. Give us your opinions about season 5 if you want.
Yeah, we'll need
We're
those
here
in
finally.
a bit.
Yeah. And you might have something to unload.
I hope so. All right. We'll see you next week, Internet.
Bye.